All right, welcome back. So, who am I? How did I get here? Well, I am currently a pediatric ER nurse. I work in a standalone children's hospital somewhere in the Midwest. That's as specific as I'm going to get on that. I started working in emergency medicine in 2013. That's when I started as an EMT. I went to paramedic school in 2015, worked as a paramedic from 2015 up through 2023. Starting in the fall of 2021 through December of 2023, I attended an accelerated Bachelor's of Science in Nursing course, graduated, and started working as a nurse the following April. So, my first undergrad was actually in music education. For a variety of reasons, I figured out that I didn't really want to teach, didn't like what I saw in education as far as long-term the career, and for quite a lot of reasons. So I got to the point where I was like, well, crap, now I kind of want to go back to school. I had actually thought about healthcare before. I come from a healthcare heavy family. I am now the fifth nurse in my extended family, which includes my mom, my grandma, and a couple of my cousins. But going back and doing a whole nother degree right after I just finished one wasn't really feasible for a couple of reasons. First of which was my first undergrad took 5 years because I changed my major 3 times. That's going to be a whole nother video talking just about college. And I knew I wanted to do something in healthcare. I thought I wanted to do nursing, but again, it just wasn't feasible at the time. So it was actually my wife who suggested, what about EMS? I knew nothing about it. I knew it's like, okay, you're a paramedic, you work on ambulances, things like that. That's all I knew. So I enrolled in an EMT course, which took 4 months, graduated, started working. And then I worked for 1.5 years at the EMT level, went to paramedic school, which is 1 year, at least program that I was in, start to finish. Pound for pound, it is the best medical education I have ever received, and that does include nursing school. We'll talk more about that in another video. It had easily the most profound impact on me as a person. When I was graduating from paramedic school, I would be willing to lay pretty good money that if people who knew me in high school saw me now, they might not recognize me. So as a paramedic, I worked in 911. I did private service transport, and I also worked in a standalone ED in a PRN position. And I was doing that during nursing school, and I had to let my cert lapse in 2023 because I was not able to keep up both with being a brand new nurse and keep up with my medic continuing education. So as far as nursing specifically, that part of the journey, I started my prereqs in February of 2021. I actually went through a hybrid program, so the didactic stuff was all online for the vast majority of it. All of my extra classes for the bachelor's through the university I went to, they were all online, which in some cases was actually really nice. It was a very unique program. And then the actual program started in August of 2021, the actual nursing part of that, and then it was straight through until December of 2022 when we graduated. So after graduating from nursing school, I got hired for my job in February. I failed the NCLEX, spectacularly, I might add. Retook it, passed it with the lowest amount of questions that you can have. We'll talk about that as well. And I took a job in the ICU. That was April of 2023. 6 months later, I left the ICU and went to the ER. That's something else we'll talk about. And I just recently passed my 1 year mark of being down in the ED. So, what's the point of me telling you all of that? Well, first off, that if you ever needed some encouragement, a reason, a sign that says, hey, if you want to make a change, you can do it, I'm it. 5 years in my first undergrad, changed my major 3 times, went back to school now 3 times, and this will be it because my wife will kill me if I try to go back to school again. But it just goes to say, it's just like, if you want to make a change, if your gut is telling you that something's wrong, it's okay. And there's really not an age limit on it. The accelerated class that I was in, we had 55 people in my cohort who graduated. Our ages ranged from 25 all the way up to late 40s, early 50s, actually. So the point that I would love to leave you guys with is this. It's never too late to begin again. Now, you have to do it in a wise manner. You can't do not just pull chalks out of a program or a job without at least having thought the matter through, having some semblance of a plan in place. Don't do that. But if you feel something isn't right, if what you're doing isn't setting you on fire, you got to do something. You got to make a change. You got to do something different. You got to move departments, something. Because life goes on. The wheel keeps turning. Your candle keeps burning. So find something that's going to make the burn worth it. And if that means changing careers, you might have to. If it means changing, speaking more in healthcare, if it means changing the unit that you work on, the floor, maybe it means going back to school. Maybe you've been at a certain level and suddenly you're like, you know what, actually, there's a level up here that I think I want to get to. It's different, but I think it's what I want. Look into it and make it happen. If I can do it, you sure can. Thanks for listening. I'll see you on the next one.